As I've continued to stress throughout, this case has been extremely complex, involving a coordinated international, interagency, and private sector response in an unforgiving and difficult to access region of the ocean. In total, the Unified Command directed 11 surface assets, 5 subsurface assets, 4 air assets, and completed 39 search and rescue sorties totaling almost 13,000 square miles. Discovery of the Titan submersible wreckage marked the conclusion of the search and rescue aspect of this incident. The Coast Guard has officially convened a Marine Board of Investigation into the loss of the submersible and the 5 people on board.
Upon receiving notification that the submersible Titan had suffered a catastrophic failure with the loss of the 5 lives on board, the Coast Guard declared a major marine casualty and convened a Marine Board of Investigation, commonly referred to as an MBI, on June 23rd. I am serving as the chair for that investigation. An MBI is the highest level of investigation the Coast Guard conducts and enables the U.S. to fully leverage investigative resources Coast Guard-wide and capitalize on an extensive network of cooperative relationships with international maritime administrations and organizations. The MBI is currently in its initial evidence collection phase, including debris salvage operations at the incident site and evidence collection in coordination with Canadian authorities in the port of St. John's, Newfoundland. After the on-scene evidence collection efforts conclude, the MBI will typically hold a formal hearing to gather additional witness testimony and evidence in a setting that is available to the public. During the course of the MBI, the board will first and primarily work to determine the cause of this marine casualty and the 5 associated deaths. The MBI, however, is also responsible for accountability aspects of the incident, and it can make recommendations to the proper authorities to pursue civil or criminal sanctions as necessary. However, any subsequent enforcement activities would be pursued under a separate investigation. The MBI is also working in close coordination with other national, domestic, and international investigative authorities, including the United States National Transportation Safety Board, Canadian Transportation Safety Board, French Marine Casualties Investigation Board, and the United Kingdom Marine Accident Investigation Branch. Upon completion of this investigation, the MBI will issue a report to the Commandant of the Coast Guard, Admiral Linda Fagan, with the evidence collected, the facts established, its conclusions, and recommendations. The final report will also be shared with the domestic and international maritime authorities I mentioned, and the International Maritime Organization, the IMO, to help improve the safety framework for submersible operations worldwide. The MBI leverages Coast Guard resources nationwide and also our international partners to collectively collect evidence. And right now we do have ongoing operations. I mentioned 2 areas, the on-site at the accident wreckage site. We have an ongoing salvage operation, and we are also currently conducting interviews in the port of St. John's. At this time, that is the priority of the investigation, is to recover items from the seafloor.
Of U.S. law and Coast Guard policy, the Coast Guard doesn't charge for search and rescue, nor do we associate a cost with human life. We always answer the call. And so the ocean remains an unforgiving environment, and every weekend there are risks that are taken as people go to the water with inadequate safety gear, with inadequate training, or boating while intoxicated. But we still answer the call. We conduct disciplined operations with warranted risk to put our resources and our lives at risk to save others. That's who we are.
That's an opportunity to learn from the incident and then work with our international partners worldwide to do exactly what you mentioned. Improve regulations or international safety standards so that they have improved oversight over these operations and to prevent a similar occurrence. The Marine Board of Investigation will not be releasing evidence as it's collected out of concern for other investigative parties and the families involved, so that will not be occurring at this time, sir.